All right, we're live, guys. Tonight
Hey.
we're going to welcome Shawn Thompson. Uh, was in Roseblood, and also the upcoming The Killing Joke by the man sitting underneath me, Anthony Caimano. And then everybody loved her when she came on, and I wanted to come by and co-host with me, Miss Amy Cote. I can't
Hey,
call her Cody. I'm not allowed to call her Cody. She told me no more Cody.
Cody's dead.
Cody's dead.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna let you guys take over a lot tonight because I got to kind of be back and forth. But I wanted to be here and talk to Shawn. I definitely have a lot of questions for him. But also with The Killing Joke coming up, I'm really excited about that because Anthony's writing and directing it. And why don't you tell everybody, Shawn, what you will be doing in the film?
Well, I'm going to be attempting to give Anthony's version of Commissioner Gordon as best I can. So we're gonna have a little chat about what he's looking for specifically in the role because I've seen several variances of Commissioner Gordon, and I want to get a hybrid of those versions. But most importantly, I want to get what his vision of it is, and then just kind of take that in, and then just spill it out as best I can.
Well, fantastic. Anthony, do you got some big plans for Shawn over there?
Of
And
course.
how did you cast them?
I'm sorry, what was that? How did I what?
How did you wind up casting him? Did you reach out to him? Did he reach out to you? And what do you got planned for him?
I initially reached out to Shawn. He was my first choice for Commissioner Gordon. I just thought he'd be perfect for it, for the vision that I have for the character. And so reached out to him, asked him if he'd be interested. I didn't give him a lot of details at first, so I thought he was a little bit unsure about it. And we ended up contacting each other maybe a month later, and it just worked out. So
yeah, there was definitely a lot of mystery to that first. It was like, I have this role, I can't really tell you too much, and I can't really tell you too much about the film, but it's a popular film that everybody knows. What do you think? And I'm like, ooh, okay. So once we circle back, we got some understanding of who the role was or what the role was to be. Definitely was like, heck yeah, let's go for it.
Well, we got the talented Dennis Mallon here checking out the stream. Fantastic actor. I don't know for the Oscars, Dennis, but if you want to consider it like that, I think he actually means the real Oscars. But he's taking time out of the Oscars to watch us. I think that says a lot right there.
There you go.
And welcome, Amy. So, all right, Commissioner Gordon. Are we going to grow a typical Commissioner Gordon mustache? Are you going to take off the rest of the beard, or are you sticking with the full beard?
Now, I had to grow this for a movie I'm doing in May. So depending when filming happens, we'll adjust accordingly. I mean, I do facial hair based on what's needed for the film.
Yeah, you have one image that I really, because something that I got in the works where I was like, man, this guy would be perfect. It's basically a guy who's wearing a hood and big scraggly beard, some hair extensions, called the Brute. I kind of like that. As I told my co-writer, I'm like, this guy, look at this image. And so I don't know if he'll be watching the stream, but yeah, definitely the Brute to a T.
Definitely works for me.
Shawn, did you have, I know you did the House of These Flesh. Did you have that beard? I don't remember.
I was at, actually, I played 2 roles in the House of These Flesh. So as Baghead, you couldn't see me at all. I had the bag on my head the whole time. And then we had a character who was supposed to fly in who, thankfully, he was okay, but he was caught COVID or got tested positive for COVID. So he couldn't make it. And Josh was like, well, we're not going to see your face the entire movie. So do you think you want to take on Mark? And I'm like, hell yeah, I'll take on Mark. Let's go. So
I mean, it looks like such a good film. I hate that I had to miss it, but it looks so good.
Yeah, it's amazing. I was there was a lot of dynamic to that film that I really, really enjoyed. The actors and actresses that were in the film, the camera angles, the creativity of some of the stuff that was talked about that isn't known yet about what's going to be in the outcome of that film. If it comes to fruition the way they were talking about it, it's going to be just terrifying and just the shit that's going to haunt you after you finish watching it. So,
well, I mean, if it doesn't haunt you, it's not worth it, But I mean, just the way it looks on the trailer, you know what I mean? And Lisa and just everybody in it was just like, you know, incredible. And it looks so Hollywood like, you know what I mean? It just looks like, I mean, everybody did a really good job, like the actors, the crew, just everybody.
Yeah, I was really excited about that one. The trailer blew my mind, and even my kids to this day, my kids are like, "When's that one coming out, Dad? When's it coming out?" I'm like, "They have some pieces they're still filming in another month, guys. I'll let you know when I find out. Trust me."
Oh, my kids are ready to see it too.
Yeah, you know what I've noticed? I've noticed there's an '80s almost style of look going for a lot of these indie projects, and I really like it. You know, the big build, the tough guys coming in, the guys playing the big Jasons, and I think that's really fantastic because I had James Stokes on last night. Now I got you on tonight. It's like a double action star night on the streaming, and to me, I really enjoy seeing it because both you guys, and I've seen both your works. I've seen a lot of your clips. I know you had a small part in Roseblood, but still the presence from both of you guys. I love seeing people like that. And growing up as an '80s action kind of guy, you don't see it as much anymore, except, you know, The Rock. But you guys both have a lot of range. I see a lot of potential in the indie community with a lot of you guys with the chops and the size and the build that can go to that classic '80s action style, classic '80s horror genre, slasher, play that part of Jason, play that part of a new character. And I think it's needed, especially with a lot of the ones who played Jason in the '80s are aging. Although CJ Grant,
if you guys know who I am, I mean, you know, I love the '80s. So just seeing everyone that's doing these indie projects is kind of looking, like he said, it looks like the '80s. You know what I mean? And you know, who doesn't want that? I mean, everybody wants that. I mean, the '80s are definitely, I feel like they're trying to make a comeback. You know, it just works.
Yeah. And Stokes is a great guy. I don't know. I haven't met him personally, but I'm friends with him on Facebook. And
James is really sweet. Yeah.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, I met him I talked to him last night for the first time because I've spoken to Jason Pitts before because I'm a fan of his work is incredible as a writer and director. Also, I mean, yeah, both guys were incredible. James seems like a really cool guy. I bet you guys would be the type of dudes that would hang out together and be pals for sure. You could see it, like go over different things because you're a fight choreographer too, right?
Correct. Yep. Yeah, I would love to. I mean, with his size and frame, I'd love to get something together where we could work out a fight together. It'd be kind of cool.
I'd love to see like a retro, a good one though. '87 sequel to Predator. Get the elite forces there. Get ready to go.
That'll work. Yeah.
Dylan, you son of a bitch. I'd love to see it.
No time to bleed.
This is so good. Yeah. Yeah, I saw some of your clips that you showed me yesterday. You showed me a bunch of different things, and I thought it was fantastic. Playing a newscaster, you got good range, calm, you know, really, you know, mellow, and then you could be really energetic when you need to. And I think that's great range from actors. And I've seen that in your clips. It really stands out. At least for me, it did.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
You were saying, go ahead.
No, I was just saying it's really funny because some of the auditions I'll send to my kids to see what they think, and it's funny because my kids are like, "Dad, that's insane." You know, some of the stuff is, you know, like the ones I sent you. They're pretty graphic in terms of, you know, intensity and just the language. And I'm supposed to be playing a character that's just pissed off, and my kids are just like, "Dude," and I'm like, "This is my dad," and I'm like, "How's it going, guys?" I'm like, so.
Well, you know, if you get their approval, you're doing well because their kids are going to be the toughest critics. Of like, "Oh, Dad, no," or something. But if they buy it and they're like, "Wow, you're doing a good job," that's I think that speaks volumes on the talent you have. If you can get your own kids to like what you're doing and a fan of what you're doing, it definitely speaks volumes.
Oh, we know kids are brutally honest.
Yeah.
Kids don't give a shit if they say you're ugly or you're fat or mom, you don't look good today. Maybe that's just my kids. I really don't know, but they do not care. They don't care if you're hurt. They're just like, it's either good or it's not good, and they're going to tell you.
Yeah. That's very true.
So,
But,
that's my experience. I have 3 of them. So,
yep.
you know,
No, I
my
agree.
kids are, yeah.
Mine are brutally honest. I run my auditions by my girlfriend first, and then I actually run them by some of my family members to see what they think. And then the last is just kind of to keep the kids up to speed on what dad's doing these days. I'll send them by the kids so they can see what they think. And it is funny to see their reaction to it because, you know, my girlfriend is very good with respect to this is believable. That's not so much believable. Amp this up, lower this down. My dad is very good with respect to checking accents and those kind of things. If my southern drawl is kind of fading back into a northern accent, he'll check me on that one pretty easily. And then when it finally gets to the meat and potatoes, I'll throw it to the kids and be like, "Hey, this is what Dad's doing," and they're just like, "Holy crap, Dad, this is awesome!" So that makes me feel happy because in my real life, I'm a computer nerd, a self-professed computer nerd. So there's not too much to get excited about with that. So when the kids are pumped up about what Dad's doing, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, you love it. It's awesome.
Yeah. So Anthony,
Yeah.
what made you look at him and say Commissioner Gordon? Was it? I think I know. Was it the one where he's on TV and he's playing like an anchor? That for me, I kind of saw the Commissioner Gordon when I saw that a lot.
I haven't seen that. No,
Well,
I
you
haven't
missed
seen
one.
that.
But what was it that said Commissioner Gordon with Shawn?
I don't know. I just looked at him and I was like, that's Commissioner Gordon for sure. I don't know. He just had the Commissioner Gordon look to me. And, you know, like a lot of the Commissioner Gordons are depicted as like almost, you know, nerdy or smaller kind of guys. But I thought Shawn would be a badass Commissioner Gordon. And that's kind of what I wanted for it. So.
And that's
So
what I think we're going to need to
mustache
check
for you.
if we're going to be the nerdy or if we're going to be a more, as I was mentioned previously, a more jacked Commissioner Gordon to see what you're looking for specifically.
Yeah, I think everyone does the nerdy kind of Commissioner Gordon. I was like, man, Shawn would make a really cool Commissioner Gordon. You know, Commissioner Gordon's always kind of like, you know, a smaller guy or, you know, old small guy or whatever the case. But
he shrinks behind everybody else, and everybody. I was mentioning. It seems that people talk at him more so than talk with him. So
no, I think this could be like a really cool take on Commissioner Gordon. I don't want to do the same thing everyone else has already done. It's like film after film, the same thing over and over.
Sure,
I can definitely see that. So no glasses and mustache for you. But I can definitely see he has that cop look. He does. Like you're not going on the cop. But he does. I could see where you'd cast him because I know you're going, Anthony, for not your every time you see Batman, it's the cop. I don't want to say copy and paste, but the looks are usually a lot the same. Even like with your Joker, you don't want it to be, say, Heath Ledger or a Mark Hamill or a Joaquin Phoenix Joker. You don't want that. You want an original Joker. You want an original Catwoman. You want an original style of Commissioner Gordon, and I really like that concept. And I can see him pulling off a detective role really, really well with Shawn. So I think it's fantastic casting.
I think so.
I mean, am I the only one who thinks Shawn looks like a bouncer because he's so big?
I think he can play a bouncer too.
A bouncer, any kind of security, like just somebody CIA or FBI, something big.
Yeah, I think Shawn's pretty talented. I think if we just had him play a bouncer, that wouldn't really, you know, we'd be cheating ourselves because I think he's, you know, capable of so much more than that.
Very versatile. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, he sent me some clips because I like to know a little bit about who I'm talking to, so I can either lie to him real well. No, I'm just kidding. So I can talk to him about what I see and what I really like from their clips, and actually having clips is almost better than watching, say, one role because you get to see different aspects of their talent in short periods. And yeah, he's got chops, man. He definitely has chops. And you said you're really new to doing this, though.
Yeah, Roseblood was my first film, so I've only been doing this for about a year and 3 months.
I think he just filmed. Shawn, did you just film something for Steve too?
Yes, we were over in Texas for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre this
We're in the Sawyer Massacre.
Oh my God, that looks so good. I cannot wait to see that.
I'm actually the associate producer on that, and I'll be talking to Scotty and Steve on Tuesday.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I was only in town for the day that I was filming, and I seen as an electrician. So I didn't have too much interaction, but I've been watching the photos that have been coming out, and even before they get through post-production, the photos are friggin' intense. I mean, it does not look like a lower budget indie. I mean, some of those scenes look freaking terrifying, which is awesome. They got the angles, they got the lighting. It's beautiful.
I mean, it's Leatherface.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You just can't beat that. I mean, it's my dream to be killed by any of the serial killers, but Leatherface, because he tortures. You know, I think we talked about this on the last show. It's just because he takes his time versus someone who just, like, you know, all the other 80 slashers, which I love. I mean, I adore. But, you know, Leatherface takes time, and he's going to make sure you feel what he's doing. And I appreciate that as a serial killer fan and freak and horror freak. I love stuff like that, you know? You enjoy it.
There's something to be said for a guy that'll basically lift you up while you're alive, hang you on a hook, and just kind of go, all right, you're not going anywhere. I'm going to go out and do something else now.
It's like Dead by Daylight. You know, I don't know if you guys have played Dead by Daylight, but like you just get hung on the hook and they're like, try to escape, can't, sucks for you. See you in the afterlife. I'm going to get the next, you know?
Beautiful.
I love it.
So I'm really excited. Like I said, that the stills coming out of it look phenomenal. So, and that's before they even start messing with the coloration and all that stuff. So I'm excited to see how it comes out.
They really do look good. I've been following, and it just looks so good. It just looks really good. And like you said, it doesn't look like this low budget independent film. People are starting to really work on that and not be like, where it looks like you shot it on an Android that was from like 2006. You know what I mean? It looks incredible.
Right. Yeah, Steve's a super talented guy. He definitely has a good eye for it. He did a good job of capturing that vibe of the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but then putting his own twist on it. Yeah. And I'm super excited for him. I just wanted to say hello to everybody that's saying hi to me in the comments. So we have Kyle Flat from Flat Lives saying hi to all of us. Amy Crabtree is here. Amy Crabtree is a producer on the Sawyer Massacre as well. So am I. And then we have, looks like Aaron said hello to me. Got a lot of people in the chats today. Hello to everybody out there. Thank you guys so much.
She's so pretty. I love her. We just became friends on Facebook. She's so beautiful.
Oh, she's amazing. She's one of the best. She
seems amazing. She seems nice.
And she's a 24/7 worker, man. I'll tell you what. I go to bed and she's posting stuff. I wake up and there's another. You've got 10 notifications about posts. I'm like, wow, does this girl ever sleep? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she promotes like crazy, like nonstop around the clock. She has a handful of projects right now too. I think Batman: The Killing Joke, The Flower City Butcher, and Body Count, Malvolia's Body Count, and I'm not sure what else she's promoting. The Sawyer Massacre. But yeah, she has a handful of projects, and she does a great job.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
well, good job, Amy Crabtree. Awesome.
She's an actor's friend, really, or somebody who's coming out with a project's best friend. Because if she's on board with it, you know that girl's working hard. Yeah, incredibly hard. She's gonna make sure that everybody knows about it. Exactly. To me, she's the best one out there that I see. She's the one who grinds. You know, and everybody should really that wants to promote movies or get into producing and stuff like that. Amy is definitely the outline of what you want to do if you really want to make a difference, because she's out there just grinding for everybody. I don't know how she does it, but she does it, and she does it better than anybody else.
Yep, I agree.
Well, she's a woman. I mean, that's how she does it. Women get shit done. It's just the way when you guys are sleeping, women are like trying to make sure shit gets done, you know. So our minds run a million miles an hour.
It's true. It's true that, like I said, I wake up in the morning and I jump on Facebook, and the first thing I see is all these different. I'm like, holy cow! And it's all throughout the night.
Oh yeah.
she's talented at what she does for sure. And she's starting to get in. Isn't she going to be in a few films too, from what I understand?
I
I'm
don't know
pretty.
if she's going to be in films. I think she has some projects coming out, but
She had a role
I
or
don't know if
two.
they're.
I don't know if she's still going to do it because I know that she doesn't. I know we both know Amy, and she's shy in front of the camera. She's more behind the camera kind of
Yeah.
person. She really enjoys that more, and
Yeah.
like she's comfortable reaching out and doing everything, and I totally get it. So, but I thought I saw she was going to be like a part in a couple movies. I don't know if that's changed or not. So I don't know. Well,
I hope so.
I don't have time to act anyway. She's too busy promoting and producing stuff.
She says she'll be in a
can-
documentary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, she came on live with me on Facebook like a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. So I had her on with me for a little bit.
She did great. It was cool having her answering questions and being up there with you.
Yeah.
Because I know how close you two are.
Yeah.
Like, you and Amy are really close. Like good
Yeah,
friends. I'm not insinuating anything. I swear. No, I'm saying I know how much she believes in what you're doing and how big of a supporter she is. So yeah,
I appreciate it.
she's special. Yeah.
I
But we got
appreciate all the support.
Yeah. There's a special community here. We've talked about that before. It's for the most part, everybody's really supportive of each other and wants everybody to succeed. And that's one of the things I love, doing what I'm doing, like these interviews and stuff, and seeing the community working together. And everybody pretty much knows everybody now. And everybody usually says, oh, I'd love to work with the other, and they'd like to work with them. And there's so many roles in the indie community now. And I think that's fantastic for everybody, top to bottom, whether you're writing a script or directing or an actor or a filmographer or a sound guy or a music guy. There's so many things needed in the community. And some of these projects, the way they get done, like I just watched that Scream Legacy last night. Good Lord, that was done well. I mean, it's some of these indie projects coming out fantastic. I mean, the quality of Roseblood's fantastic. The Sawyer Massacre.
I watched that. It's good. It's very good.
I don't know if because I had no facial.
You had no facial. Like, yeah, that's why it was hard to see you in Roseblood. I rewatched it today. I'm like, where is he?
Who the hell is that?
No. There was Peter Anthony. He'd definitely cast some big dudes. So Jason had his work cut out for him getting through it, for sure.
Yeah, he was throwing some pretty big boys around.
Yeah, he was. Although he handled some business pretty quickly, I'll give him credit for that.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to part two.
He started delivering like there was no tomorrow.
Yeah, Peter Anthony he's badass. I mean, he's a good guy.
Yeah, I've seen him on a lot of things, and like talking with different friends of mine. Like I think he's on with Kyle Curtis Flett soon, and he's been on there a bunch of times. And he's one of those guys who appreciates the indie community and everybody around it. And as somebody who's looking from the back, and I haven't had a chance to sit with Peter yet, but I really enjoy his interviews and his insights and what he talks about and the talent he has as a guy creating films and acting and really doing his hands on everything. Even watching him do like watch-alongs with fans or hosts of YouTube channels and going through everything and the details and pointing out all the little things he did that maybe other people didn't notice that were Easter eggs or could be clues to this and that. I like that it was really thought out with, and that's something that the writing, I think, in indie keeps getting better and better and better. Never Hike Alone was definitely one that I feel inspired a lot of these to really grow with Womp Stomp Films. I was lucky enough to sit by Vincent DeSante at KC Krypticon. He was the table next to me. What an awesome dude. So I'm excited for all these indie projects coming up, especially the Friday the 13th ones. I know the legal battle ended, but it's been so long, and it's been the lifeline, the lifeblood. I was talking to Jason Pitts and James Stokes last night, and they got Voorhees Night of the Beast coming out. So just I'll take all the Jason and all that I can get in the horror and watch it and love it, and everybody's different take as a fan and doing a fan-made project and film. And some of them have been just amazing.
I just feel like it's the horror community, period, you know? Like, we're just good people. We're just like, you know, I mean, people have asked me if I'm a devil worshiper. I'm like, because I like horror stuff, you know, like no one worships Satan, but like, you know, we're like it's like they're like the nicest people. They just love watching people get killed. I mean, that's not a problem. I don't think. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I just think it's the whole horror community is just like, I don't know. There's something about it. It's happy. It's as weird as that sounds. Watching people be slaughtered, it just makes you happy. And everyone coming together at like these films and independent films and cons and horror fests and stuff, there's just nothing like it. You know, I just feel like there's no bigger community than the horror community.
No, absolutely not. And really, to me, horror is even 80s horror, even Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's always Halloween 78. It's always kind of been an indie projects. And that's why I think with it growing in a different way with the internet and Indiegogo and all this other stuff has really helped horror have that second win that it was missing for a while, in my opinion. I think without the indie horror community, they wouldn't have the Halloween 2018 and all these other ones, good or bad, that are being made and the fandom coming back, because it was pretty much getting to, and nothing against the movies Conjuring or, you know, the paranormal stuff, which a lot of people like, but slasher films was really lacking for a while, and it's good to see the resurgence. And I think people like Womp Stomp Films, Peter Anthony, and others that are bringing it back on an indie budget, an indie film, and doing it on a low budget, making it as efficient and well done as possible. And like Amy said, it's the quality is impressive, even with that new Scream movie. I don't know if I know, Amy, you said you saw it, but for an hour-long film and the way it's shot, you wouldn't know it was an indie film for the most part. It well acted, well shot. The sound is amazing. Just visually, it was really well done. The only thing I could complain about is I wish it was longer and a few more characters. But other than that, it was perfect. And you're talking a budget, though.
Yeah.
And very well made, very well made. A lot of these films are. Roseblood was well made. The quality, the production quality is just, wow. you just can't get through it.
Well, it's cool if you think about it, too, because a lot of these films, you got the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which was the 70s. You got the Halloween and Friday the 13th, which is the early 80s. And it's almost as if the generation that grew up with those was getting older and the new generation didn't experience those. And it's because of the fan films that, like you said, that bridge that gap, so that all of a sudden now you have these new Texas Chainsaw Massacre Netflix films and new, or the continuation, I guess, if you will, the Halloween, and hopefully a continuation or some rebirth of Friday the 13th now that we're past all that stuff, so that the next generation can start re-enjoying the same type of films that we all enjoyed, which will do nothing.
I feel bad for people who didn't get to enjoy. Like, I feel bad for people who were like in the 80s and early 90s. I mean, it's sorry.
Yeah.
Like, that was the best time, you know. And now that everyone's redoing everything, and you know, you had the new Leatherface come out and Scream, and you know, we're hoping, please Lord, for Friday the 13th or something, you know, like, because I mean, it's been a while. And although I love the 2009, you know, Friday the 13th, we could do it again, and it could be better. You know what I mean? And you know, that's just what we all want. So.
Well, and it'll be curious to see what they do with it, because it has been, you know, since 2009. I will be interested, as I'm sure many will be interested, to see where they decide to take it, because there's going to be a lot of anticipation and expectation on if you're going to relaunch this franchise, or if you're going to try to continue something that once was from back then. Or I'll be curious to see what they're planning to do with it. It would be interesting to see if they do a rebirth with the idea of we're going to tell the story from the beginning, or maybe even go back and we're going to tell you the pre-Jason story with Pamela as she begins before she goes to the camp and get into that. And maybe that first one ends before Friday the 13th one begins, that kind of thing. But there's going to be a lot of expectation based on the number.
It's gonna be high. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
everyone's, especially with Jason, you know, I mean, for me, a horror movie is just, it's always, I have such a high standard, and I'll watch the damn movie like 5 or 6 times, like I did Leatherface, and I start picking that shit apart, and I'm like, no, we shouldn't have done that. No, that's not right. You know what I mean? And so that's, especially with, you know, Jason Voorhees, because it's been so long, you're going to expect such a bomb. You know what I mean? Expect like better kills than you've ever seen, and Jason to be like this big, massive motherfucker. You know what I mean? Just, you know, it has to be great.
And to that point, because it's been so long, they'll have to decide whether they want to modernize it like they did kind of with the Halloween, where they went from more of the very flagrant, bloody, in-your-face kind of kills, or do they want to go back to, let's talk full retro, back to the 80s, where it was suspense, but the kills were good, but they were not like, you know, as hardcore as they got, like the, as much as I don't like the movie, Jason X, where they smashed her face into a million pieces with the liquid hydrogen, those kind of things, versus just more of the Kevin Bacon, the arrow through the throat kind of thing.
That was a good kill though. With that, yeah. I mean, that shit. I watched that the other day with my son, and I was just like, "Ugh, shit." Yeah. You know, even though, you know, I've watched the making of it a million times, and it's, you know, that's why I love the 80s, because they did what they could. That's what they had. They didn't have CGI. They didn't have the things that we have today. And so almost today, things are too fake looking. And right. So in the 80s, it's like, yeah, you kind of watch it now, and it's a little cringy, but you're just like, but they use what they had. And I still feel like it's more real looking than, you know, what kind of most of the things that you have today. And that's just my opinion.
There's a special an old school feeling, or like a calling to home when you look at the natural special effects versus just, well, we can green screen everything and let everybody in post production add all the stuff that they want to make it incredible. You're kind of like, no, I like the idea of natural, even if you see a little bit of the fakeness, even if it doesn't look as, you know, it's legit, as opposed to just, we'll just figure that stuff out afterwards.
That's true, you know, and then Halloween Kills, like, I really, when they went back to the 70s, I was like, you know, because I went to the movies to watch it, and I was like, oh shit, they got Dr. Loomis, like, no way, you know what I mean? I was just like taken back, and come to find out, the guy who played Dr. Loomis, he was on the crew, and he just happened to look so much like Dr. Loomis. They used this guy, never like done anything. And, you know, they did, you know, Dr. Loomis's voice, they voiced over and all that stuff. And I was just like, I felt so like nostalgia or something, you know, I was like, oh my God, I feel like I'm 5 again watching Halloween 1978, you know, and just, I loved the movie. I had a couple, you know, like who played Tommy. I love that actor. I think he's so good, but he was kind of over the top for me, you know, just like, you're trying to be too badass, but you're not badass. Breakfast Club. Like, let's just calm down for 5 seconds. Like, I love the actor. I think he's great. Yeah. That kind of bothered me, you know, but that's just my opinion. And all in all, like the movie, you know, Michael, everybody, Jamie, of course, I'm a big Jamie fan, and I just love her to death. Such a girl crush on her, you know? And so I mean, I thought it was really well put together.
I'm disappointed they didn't put Danielle Harris in either film, and not even reprising a role as Jamie Lloyd, which I still would have loved something with it. But just as her as a character, as an actress, and what she did for the series, like, to me, and as much as I love Jamie Lee Curtis, and I love Jamie Lee Curtis, but Jamie Lloyd was, to me, more. Like, I don't know, there was just something special about her as an actress as a kid. I mean, most kids can either ruin a film, and I was, you know, I was
incredible.
She was
older.
She
was when she was in the bed, and she was kind of like having like convulsions or something when she was in like the what was it, like a kind of ward or something, and she was convulsing, and I'm like, this girl, what was she? How old was she? Like 12, 11? I don't know how old she was, but like, you can portray that type of character where you're like convulsing in a bed, and she does it so well. And even as an adult, the things that she's done is just like, it blows your mind how good she is.
Oh, she's fantastic. She's still a fantastic actress. But what she pulled off, especially part 5, I loved it. The convulsing, she did the best she could with that. And I'm not a hater on 5. I love all of it. The only thing I didn't like in 5 and even in 4 is the mask. I did not like the masks at all, or the look. You know, it wasn't terrible, but like the Halloween 4 poster mask was great, but the film one was a little bland for me. And the shoulder pads didn't work. But I still love the movie. Part 4
Now,
is
who's
probably
here?
my third favorite.
Well,
And,
we all know you love H2O. I mean, we already talked about that. So,
No, you know what? I don't hate H2O. It's just not like a lot of people. It's on their top list. I Resurrection is the one that I just do not speak of. I do not consider it a part of the franchise.
it's more of a comedy. It's more of a comedy film versus horror. You know.
That's another great indie project. I thought Braden Timmons did a fantastic job on Haddonfield Nightmare. It was a lot more creative and a lot more well done than Resurrection by far. It was a far better sequel. But yeah, what Danielle Harris did in part 4, especially because she was even younger, was just impressive. I mean, she played that role to a T. And like I was saying, a kid actor can make or break a movie. If you're a bad kid actor in a movie, it's just like, oh man, just enough. But she was great. And even in part 5, like they had her not talk, which I thought was, for most of the movie, which I thought was criminal for them to do, especially with the ending of 4. But even the compulsing and what she did was believable. What she got to do in part 5, even though I felt was
that's
limited.
what I'm saying. Even though she wasn't talking, she still killed it. She did so good. And you know, she was in the Rob Zombie. What was it? Was she in both those movies, or just was it both of them, right? Or just the second one?
I think it was just the second one, but I'm not. Don't quote me on that.
Okay, yeah, I think you're right. I think it was just the second one. And even though she wasn't, you know, still the same character, I mean, her acting is just impeccable. I mean, it's so good. It's so good. And I love the Rob Zombie Halloweens. I loved them because they're like really dark. And I mean, that's Rob Zombie, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, she did really good. She did really good in that film.
Yeah. Actually, I think she was in both of them, I think, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
She played a different character than she was obviously in the previous films, but she was in both of them. And the second one, she died a bloody death in the bathroom, if I remember correctly.
Man, that was a horrible death. It was so powerful though, the way she was slow-mowing, you know what I mean? And just the whole scene was, because you know the guy who played, you know, Michael was freaking huge. I mean, was he like 6'5", 6? I mean, he's huge.
Yeah.
You see him, you're screwed. You're not getting away. So I know you can try, and it's fun to try, but like you just need to stand there and be like, do your thing.
And that's what
he died.
Monster.
The new, a lot of the more modern slasher killers is the 5'10s and the 6 feet are gone. Now you got, you know, it's the wrestling guys are 6'5", 6'7", 6'9", 300 pounds plus, and you're basically just looking at a wall with a big huge machete, and you're like, holy crap.
Exactly. I feel like 6 foot is too short now. I feel like they're looking at 6 foot like that's like 5'9". That's not going to cut it, bro. It's not going to cut it.
Yep. And as someone that's
6'5" or more,
I'm 6 feet, and it's depressing.
but that's still tall, so you're good.
Awesome. So we have some people in the comments. Brittany C says hello. Hello, Brittany. Hello, Topaz. And Lydia Manson was here. I'm not sure if that's the real. Oh my God, Lydia Manson. That might be the real one. I'm not sure.
That is my girl right there.
Oh my God, Lydia Manson. She was in The House That Eats Flesh with Shawn Thompson, of course. She'll be Batgirl and Batman the Killing Joke. Our Indiegogo campaign is live right now. You guys can go check it out. And, of course, we have the Flower City Butcher going live April 1st. Spoiler alert for the people that are watching. Shawn Thompson will be in the Flower City Butcher. We'll make an official announcement at some point on Facebook. But for those of you watching, you now know.
Congratulations, Shawn.
Thank you.
It's I feel like I should be congratulating myself a bit because I'm blessed to have Shawn, on board with this project and with Batman and all of these talented actors and actresses, and I appreciate all of them very much.
No,
Well, congratulations to you too, Anthony.
Thank you.
Welcome.
So what about Amy? Do you have any projects that you're working on?
I booked. Actually, I'm just, ever since I was on the show the first time, I've had a lot of people reach out to me, and I am in a Leatherface film. I am in a film called Wrath of Innocence that I'm doing the end of April, beginning of May, a short film. It's going to be really incredible. And, things are just lining up for me. And I'm just, I would do any genre, but I'd rather stay in horror because it's just like my thing.
Yeah.
And, because I just want to be killed. That's
Right.
it. I mean, that's all I want. That's it. I mean, everybody does. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
but yeah, I do have quite a few things starting to line up. So
awesome.
It's funny when
you got a great career going for you, Andy. I think you're gonna really start nailing some roles.
Thank you.
It's funny with the different genres and stuff. You really are aware of your audience around you when you're talking about what you do, because like you said, if you're sitting in an airport getting ready to fly off to one of your things and you're doing a scene like in Under Three Moons where I was an attorney, you can just openly say, yeah, I was a scene where I was an attorney and it's no big deal, and it doesn't matter who's around you. But if you're talking about like a scene in The House That Eats Flesh and you're like, yeah, this is a really good scene where I jam a screwdriver in this girl's head and she dies right next to me, and people are like, what? It's in a movie. Kidding. Because it's I have as my background picture my iPad, and you get on a plane and you crack open your iPad and the person next to you sees that, it guarantees you get the armrest. I can promise you that. Good stuff.
Oh, Amy, I got some news for you. You might like. My buddy's doing a escape mask from Rob Zombie, that orange mask that he made. Mm-hmm. So I'll have one of those in my collection, and then another one I'm getting is the flashback mask from Kills movie from Jimmy Falco. It's gonna be on the table. Yeah. I just figured I'd bring that up so I know you love Rob Zombie.
I got to get one of those masks, and then I'll be complete.
Yeah. Well, I told you I got you on that. It's not a problem. Yeah. So you got a Killing Joke coming up, and you're excited about becoming Commissioner Gordon. Now we're gonna get back to that because we got to talk some Killing Joke. I'm excited about that. I actually watched the cartoon again on HBO. It'd been a little while since I'd seen it. And Joker and Batman had a good laugh at the end. I don't know if you're gonna go that route. I'm kind of hoping not. Maybe a laugh with the commissioner. You never know. But it's going to be a full-length movie. Is this going to be a big Commissioner Gordon part, or how true is it going to be to the comic? I know you kind of gone a little bit away, but maybe explain a little more without giving too much away what Shawn's going to be doing. Or is that too tough to do right now?
I've talked about it a little bit. His part's pretty important in the story. It's not going to be the exact same as in the comics. So in the comic, Joker kidnaps Gordon and brings him to his carnival and kind of puts him through a lot of stuff, and it won't be exactly like that. So you won't see Shawn being tortured per se or anything like that.
Oh, damn.
But it's the Killing Joke with a twist to it. It's not going to be the exact same thing as the book, which I've said that from the beginning. It won't be the exact same. Trying to think of what I can say. What I told Tom Gibhart, who's playing Detective John Riley in the movie, is that when the film starts, Gordon and his family are at the house. There's a knock on the door. Someone answers the door. Someone gets shot. The next thing you know, the person's in the hospital. They're on a gurney, and Tom's character is there. And the person on the gurney tells Tom to go find her. So whatever that means. That's pretty much all I gave away publicly about the character. So
Well, you know, I got to hit those tough questions, try to get a little more info. For everybody.
I know you're always trying to get it out of me, and I don't want to
I'm
tell too
sneaky
much.
like that. I'm working my interviewing skills.
I know.
And you also got the Flower City Butcher coming up. Is there anything that we can? Is Shawn gonna maybe be cast in that?
Yeah, he is. We haven't made that that announcement public on Facebook, but we will.
Look, we're bringing stuff right here on Doomsday's Krypt live stream. Look at this. I forced it, and see, I knew I'd get something.
Yeah, and Shawn has a cool part in that too. It's not a small role. It's a decent role. So
he's too big to play a small role.
I know, man. We have to give him all the big characters.
I'm telling everybody. I said Anthony and I were talking, and he was like, "I need somebody. He's not going to have a lot of talking, but I need somebody that's kind of big and kind of pissed off and intimidating." Do that. I can do big and pissed off. It's not a problem.
Shawn was like, "I got this." I was like, perfect.
Well, it pisses him off if you don't give him enough lines. You can just, no, we're cutting that line. Get him really worked up for the scene.
That's what I was afraid of.
Cut.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited to have him attached to both films. I wanted him for Gordon, you know, from the get-go, and he was the first person I thought of. You know, when I saw him, I was like, he's perfect for Gordon. And you know, he wasn't super interested at first because I didn't give him a lot of details. So I talked to a couple other people, and one person was pretty interested. He seemed like he would have did, like, you know, a decent job and everything, but I wanted Shawn for it, and you know, I was pretty excited when we got him attached to it. Flower City Butcher is an original slasher horror film. Yeah. Basically a group of kids spend the night in a house. They mysteriously disappear. 1 year later, a new group of kids spend the night in the same house. Then we kind of find out what happens to them, and it goes from there. It's pretty much the Flower City Butcher in a nutshell.
Without giving anything away.
Yeah, without giving too much away, I guess. Yeah, that's going to be starring Angel Bradford.
Up a spoiler from you.
Yeah, you can ask. Maybe there's something I can say that I'm not thinking of. So if you have any questions, you know, feel free.
Well, I know it takes place in upstate New York, right? And it's a horror movie. So right there, since I was a kid in upstate New York, like we talked about, and it's a horror movie. It's right up my alley, just right there. And then you had that intro that you wrote out, for the start of the movie, kind of the setting. And I thought that was really well written, because that's really the first time I've seen what you've written. I've heard talk about the Killing Joke and you know, Flower City Butcher coming out, but I really liked the idea for the start. It was a solid beginning that you laid out. I really did like that a lot, for sure. And yeah, I'm glad that you're going to be casting Shawn in there. There's another actress I know that, you know, you should have her try out for a role. I think she's got some talent. Could have 3 future superstars right here. This is a big show, guys. Anybody who's watching, I believe there's a lot of talent right here.
So we actually just got Heather Beck attached too. Heather Beck is starring in. She's the lead in The Third Channel, so she has a pretty big part in this too. Shawn Thompson, of course, Angel Bradford, who's super popular right now, Samantha Larkin, Austin Bidikofer, Bernard Sharp, Scotty McCoy is attached to it, Daniel Lund's attached to it, Troy Elke's doing the voice work for us. Robert Bess is attached as a producer. So
it's getting a lot of support, man. I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
Because these are really your first 2 projects, and you're doing them back to back in a sense. So
you're
not starting slow. You're kind of like, you know what? Got that Indiegogo campaign going. It's time to let's put out another story.
Swinging for the fences, yeah.
There you go.
So a group of friends will try to survive the night in a house after learning about its dark history. How far will they go for the ones they love the most, and what choice will they have? Forever Entertainment presents The Flower City Butcher. So there we are. Whereas Troy would say the Flower City Butcher.
When I first started talking to you, you're like, oh yeah, I got a horror in the works. And the next thing I know, like a week later, oh, we're going full force. Not even maybe a few days later, because you're like, I'm thinking about doing this. Boom. What the hell? Where'd that come from? Threw that curveball out. I was like, okay, cool.
So actually, I had the idea for the horror film before I decided to make The Killing Joke. But I announced The Killing Joke first, and I saw a lot of people that were complaining that there weren't enough original films coming out of the horror scene, and they didn't like fan films, and so I was like, you know what, I'll give you something. so we're doing it, and The Killing Joke's going to be a full-length feature film, and Flower City Butcher is going to be a full-length feature film. And to answer the question from before, I'm from Rochester. It's in upstate New York. And Rochester is known as the Flower City, so that's where the name comes from.
Very cool.
Amy is in one. Amy's not in one of these. She's an executive producer on both of them, though. Reading comments here. So Shawn, what else? Shawn, you just worked on Demons at Dawn as well, didn't you?
I was supposed to go out there. Unfortunately, I had a scheduling conflict with my real life, so had to pull that one, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was supposed to head out there and film some scenes out in California, but I do. I'm a software developer in my real life, and we rotate support, which means you have to be available 24/7. And unfortunately, my shift happened to come in when they were filming, so. The reality of the real world reminding me that this is where your bread and butter is, so it's all good.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm attached to I was attached to that one as an associate producer. Chris Sanders, the director, is a super talented guy. He's working on the Haunted Studio right now.
Yep.
And I'm excited for him.
Yeah. I was with him on his last project, Werewolf Cabal.
Yeah, I was helping him. I was trying to help him raise some money for that one. I think I might have got him a few bucks on that one. But cool. Yeah, he's a super talented guy, makes high quality stuff. I'm happy for him. Yeah. He has Bei Ling from the original Crow movies starring in the Haunted Studio.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Pretty cool stuff, yeah.
It looks like we're coming up on an hour. Is there anything Shawn wants to plug or say before we get too close to the end here?
We got some great stuff coming down the pike. I'm just looking down IMDb so I don't miss anything here. We finished up filming a lot of the stuff from the Naughty List, which is a short we just filmed. It's a Christmas horror film, which was great. Obviously got Werewolf Cabal. I got a couple projects down here in Florida that I did a small part on. Some of the Dean Cain stuff to raise awareness for human trafficking. Cool. One was Not for Sale Florida, and the other one's Ghost Trader, which was pretty hardcore stuff. Just from a perspective of what human trafficking is, and we were filming some of the stuff in warehouses, and some of the actresses, they were younger girls, and they had the bruises and the blood on their face, and when you're doing the scene and you're acting, it's kind of like you disconnect from what's going on around you, but as soon as they're setting up the next scene, you're kind of looking around, and then you just get this hard reality that this is not a movie. This is real shit that's going on, and that was pretty hardcore.
It is definitely a lot of people's reality.
Yeah.
I think anyone who does those types of films is incredible, because it's just the more awareness we have over human trafficking, the better.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize the severity of it. And it's fantastic you're giving attention to that. I think that's amazing. And that's important things that people who are seen by others and can share a message, even if you're reaching a few people, giving attention to stuff like that, because that is a real problem that gets swept under the rug with mainstream media and everything else. You'll hear about it, but you don't hear about the severity of it. It's real severe.
Yeah,
but
pretty.
I'm rooting for all you guys. We're at the hour, like Anthony said. I was talking, but I had the mute button on, so so you guys got lucky for a few minutes. But yeah, Shawn, I'm excited for you, man. One last question for you: if you could go full-time acting and give up your computer stuff, would you? Or do you love what you do too much and you like to do both? Or would you like to incorporate
it? Yes, yes, and yes. I was afforded the opportunity to still pay my bills and whatnot, then yes, I would absolutely love to do this. I very much enjoy being a computer nerd. I've done it for close to 30 years so far. Yeah, if the opportunity presented itself that I could flip the switch and do acting full time, I definitely think I would do that. So we'll see how that goes. I'm leaving it as a passion that you as my dad always says, you hope for the best and prepare for the worst. So you just keep plugging along, and if something happens, phenomenal. And if nothing happens, I'm just enjoying the ride because this is awesome. As Amy noted, we meet the most amazing people. I've never collectively met so many people that are supportive of everybody, that encourage everybody. In a world where we're all competing and to almost seemingly drag people down to pull ourselves up further than everybody else. This is a community where, if you think about it, people are making movies at the same time, sometimes of the same subject matter, and everybody's still like, dude, you're seeing rocked. I'm so excited for your film. I want to contribute to your project. I want to help your vision. And that's the as I've always said, that's what turns this from friends into family, and that's kind of how I feel about this. So if nothing ever comes from this except to the level that I am now, I'm still truly blessed because this has been absolutely amazing. So
I see big things for you. I think you got what it takes, and
So do
I
I.
definitely keep people on demand.
yeah, appreciate that. You both.
So do I.
And you're in a win-win situation, really, because you love what you do anyway. And if acting takes off, no matter what, you're in a good position. I'm truly happy for it.
Thank you.
And,
Very much.
And I have to say, I only know Shawn briefly. It's not, but I'm very proud of you, and I'm happy for you. I can't wait to see your films, and hopefully we get to work together one day. And Anthony, it's nice meeting you, and
Thank you.
congratulations on all your films and your success. And I'm just glad that I was able to be a part of this tonight.
Thank you. I appreciate that, and I hope
You're welcome.
I hope you get some cool roles, and get to get. I think you want to
I hope
die
I
in
get
some
killed.
movies. So I hope,
Yeah.
I hope that happens for you. Maybe Shawn will kill you in a movie someday.
One day, Shawn, you can kill me. That would be awesome.
And if we're in an airport and we say that, we'll make sure that everybody knows it's in a movie.
No, we don't even need to say that. Let's just go with it. People in this day and age, they're really not going to think twice about it.
Yeah,
Oh, he's going to kill her. It's just another day. It is just what it is,
Exactly. Good stuff.
Awesome.
yeah,
Thank
I know
you guys
it's
so
her
much.
dream. It's her dream to be killed on screen, and I know she'd be honored if it was you.
Yeah.
Maybe you could be her first person to kill her. That'd be an experience for her. And
Yeah.
I think
yeah.
I think all three of you guys got such a great future lying ahead of you, and I'm excited watching and seeing you guys all really blow up, not in just the indie scene, but hopefully to that next level, where indie I think is going anyway as a whole. It's not just going to be indie like it was. I think there's a community building that's going to really build together, like Shawn was saying, as a family and working together, as almost a team where there's the actors and the writers and everything working, collaborating and knowing each other, knowing the actors, suggesting other people. Will build that community to deliver really, really great films. And it's improving. Every film I see out of indie seems to improve and improve and improve and improve. And the opportunity's there, and I'm excited for all three of you guys. And I wish you guys the best, and I appreciate you guys all coming on. And sorry, I've been kind of back and forth. And I appreciate.
I'd rather stare at Jason's face than yours. I'm just saying. So it's been perfectly fine. We're good.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm just kidding.
I'd rather stare at Jason's face than mine too. So it's
just a joke. Just a joke.
I know, but I'm not joking. I'd rather stare at Jason's face. I enjoy it. It's a cool picture. I like it. But yeah, guys, thank you so much. Thank you for co-hosting with me, Amy. Thank you, Anthony. And I really appreciate it, especially tonight. I knew I was going to be back and forth. And Shawn, man, thanks again, dude. Looking forward to all your careers, like I said. And thank everybody who's here. and
Thank
the
you,
support you guys are
everyone.
showing.
Thank you.
And we'll talk to you guys next time. Peace.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.